Driving something that feels like a supercar doesn't mean you'll need to live off of instant noodles or sell your kidney. It may surprise you to learn that some cars can provide the excitement of fast speeds and tight turns without breaking the bank. Even though they don't have a flashy insignia or an unpronounceable name, these inexpensive monsters are wickedly quick, incredibly entertaining, and far more stylish than your neighbor's minivan. We'll sort them from the most expensive ones to the cheapest. So, starting with the most expensive, number 7. The 2006 Lotus Elise, $35,000. You should probably back off gradually if you find the Lotus Elise adorable or feisty, and you may not have heard of it before. This is not a car for the faint of heart or a casual driver. By everyday driver standards, the ride is rough, and there are no cup holders. The optional touring pack does have one, but we've never seen it. According to the Lotus men, it resembles a jockstrap. At cruising speeds, the entire car buzzes and rattles, and there's hardly any room in the trunk. But if you're looking for something compact, quick, attractive, with a foldable top, and actually kind of practical for daily use, let us help you find it. Oh, wait, we already have. The loss of the Rover K Series engine temporarily created a hole in Lotus's portfolio, and its disappearance from the range was not good news for entry-level sports car lovers across the globe. The Lotus Elise needs to be on your must-drive list if you consider yourself a serious sports car enthusiast. This compact, powerful sports vehicle is a good value for the money and has excellent performance capabilities. Between 1996 and 2021, Lotus produced 3 models of the Elise, which was first introduced to the US market in 1996. The Lotus is an extremely sleek sports vehicle that has been lowered wherever possible. As a result, the automobile is incredibly light and agile, but tall drivers will not be able to sit comfortably. It has 2 engine options, a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 134 horsepower, and a 1.8-liter supercharged engine that produces 250 horsepower. The Lotus Elise S is constructed with a lightweight steel rear subframe and an innovative award-winning extruded and bonded aluminum chassis. The chassis itself has a rigidity of 9,500 Newton-meters per degree and weighs only 150 pounds. The body style of the vintage 190 horsepower Lotus Elise R has not changed. Braking comes from AP Racing calipers at the front and Brembo calipers at the rear, linked to 282mm vented and cross-drilled cast iron discs. The advanced ABS system incorporates an anti-lock system, which is very unobtrusive, and most drivers won't even notice that it's there. But one thing you will definitely notice is this next car. Number 6. The 2015 Nissan 370Z Nismo, $30,000. The Z car has been around since the late 60s, but it wasn't until 1969 that the Datsun 240Z landed in the United States. Over the last 45 years, the two-seater sports car has transformed into what we have today. Back then, not only was the Z affordable, reliable, and fun to drive, but it also competed against the likes of the Volvo 1800E, Chevrolet Corvette, and Jaguar E-Type. The Nissan 370Z Nismo is a compact, light vehicle with a lot of power and rear-wheel drive. The 370Z series, which replaced the original 370Z, is unquestionably a lightning-fast sports vehicle. The car's handling is another remarkable quality, and when paired with its unique suspension, it turns cornering into a thrilling experience for drivers. This version had 19-inch raised forged alloy wheels, a distinctive red engine cover, polished exhaust tips, front and rear vibration performance dampers, and an engine, exhaust, and suspension modified by Nismo. A rear spoiler, body side sills, and a changed front and rear bumper were all part of the Nismo aerodynamic body design. Recaro leather seats with Alcantara inserts, a steering wheel wrapped in leather and Alcantara, a shifter wrapped in leather, red accent stitching, and a red tachometer were among the interior features unique to the Nismo package. Even though they are incredibly powerful, naturally aspirated engines are becoming increasingly uncommon. Thankfully, Nissan's designers equipped the Nismo with a powerful 3.7-liter V6 air-breathing engine. Despite the small dimensions, the engine generates an incredible 359 horsepower, enabling it to reach 60 miles per hour in just 5 seconds. If you would like not to use the 3 pedals, you can opt for a 7-speed automatic. Okay, that's enough about the Nismo. let's talk about one of our personal favorites on this list. Good old American muscle. Number 5. The 2002 Chevrolet Corvette C5 Z06. $23,000. For supercar fans who don't want to spend $100,000 on a sports vehicle, but still want an amazing ride, the Chevrolet Corvette C5 Z06 is a fantastic choice. One of Corvette's best sports cars is the C5 Z06, a fifth-generation Corvette built from 2001 to 2004. The performance and build quality are in line with previous Corvettes, and the C5 even has a manual transmission, something that's unusual among modern V8-powered vehicles. After an extended delay following the release of the C4, the C5 finally made its market debut. It's interesting to note that the value of the earlier Corvette C4 model has increased significantly. A huge 5.7-liter LS6 V8 engine powers the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. The 2002 model of the C5 was adjusted to produce 405 horsepower, compared to the previous model's 385 horsepower. The C5 Generation Z06 Corvette was a project that transformed America's sports vehicle into a weapon, much like it was decades ago. Because the fixed-roof notchback body was lighter and stiffer than the Targa-top bubbleback automobiles, it was only used on the C5, which is why it's probably our personal favorite. The FE4 heavy-duty suspension, bigger brakes, bigger wheels and tires, and more cooling capacity were other advantages of the Z06. The titanium exhaust system, less soundproofing, and thinner glass were weight-saving techniques. It can reach a top speed of 171 miles per hour, and comes with both an automatic and a 6-speed manual transmission for the supercar enthusiast in you. In addition, it can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds, and has a pop-up headlight in case you want a conversation starter. Now, before we continue admiring and thinking about buying these machines, please make sure to hit that like button. And while you're at it, subscribing to our channel won't hurt, but it will show us your support. Now, back to the cars you came here for. Number 4. The 2012 Jaguar XKR. $20,000. The British sports automobile Jaguar's XKR competes with the best and fastest of its competitors because of its massive supercharged power reserves and amazing variety of technology. Most people will find that the regular version's just over 500 horsepower is more than sufficient. But for those who require performance that approaches supercar levels, the top XKR S's 542 braked horsepower should more than meet their needs. You want one, don't you? Be honest. Otherwise, you most likely wouldn't be watching this. At least according to stylist Ian Callum, the bodywork's dramatic, seductively sweeping curves were modeled after those of actress Kate Winslet. He designed his first Jaguar, and it was also the first vehicle from the brand to use aluminum construction, which is meant to make this model 30% stiffer and 100 kilograms lighter than its predecessor, the XK8. The car's 1.7-ton curb weight is something you wouldn't know from the shapely profile. And to be honest, you wouldn't assume it from the statistics either. Even so, ignore the facts and simply enjoy the modern combination of style and constant luxury that Jaguar says we have here. The oval front grille and the way the rear cabin tapers in over the haunches are two iconic E-Type inspired features that give it a confident appearance. There is also a reference to the legendary sports car in the front badge. With the sheet metal stretched over something genuinely functional, the car appears powerful and definitely looks like a sports car. We were certainly surprised to know it's only going for around $20,000. But not as surprised as when we saw the price of this next car on our list. Number 3. The 1999 Porsche Boxter 986. $15,000. A car that truly doesn't need an introduction. But here's one anyway. It was an excellent two-seat roadster that didn't discipline you in the everyday grind. It made a clear choice as soon as you surpassed an MX-5 in terms of price and power when it was first introduced in 1996. The Boxster quickly established its category, as is the case with many Porsches. It had no components in common with any other saloon. It was a pure sports car. It felt so special because of that. An intriguing, all-new thoroughbred 6-cylinder engine is practically at the heart of the Boxster's charm. It's positioned directly behind you, where the back seats of the 911 are located. But the Boxster feels extremely different from a 911 because of that mid-engine configuration. Less difficult and more stable. The remainder of it is pure Porsche. Powerful brakes and suspension made of aluminum. Above all, the machine's controls grab you with their remarkable accuracy. Instead of discontinuities between generations, Porsche has a habit of progression. Here, it's the same. You'll recognize the first one, codenamed 986, if you're familiar with the current one. The old one is somewhat smaller than the one at hand, and its edges and corners are more round, resembling a beach stone that has been worn down by waves and sand. The tail tapers elegantly, owing to a hidden electrically rising spoiler. It began with 2.5 liters and with 204 horsepower in base form as tested this time. Just enough to break the 7-second 0 to 60 time limit. Although there are now 1-liter Fiestas with nearly that amount, the torque peak is just 181 pound-feet. Since everyone thought the amazing chassis could handle more, it quickly expanded to 2.7 and 220 in 1999, with an S version that could do a lot more, with 252 horsepower from 3.2 liters. Standard and S outputs reached 240 and 280 horsepower at the end of the 986's operation. The early base car had a 5-speed transmission. Later models had 6. A Tiptronic auto with 5 speeds is another option. With a turnip for a clutch foot, an auto undoubtedly protects the rest of the drivetrain from harm. But it's less enjoyable, and numbs the acceleration. Now let's move on to the top 2 cheapest cars on our list. Number 2. The 2007 Sky Redline, $13,000. Are you charmed by the Pontiac Soltice GXP and Saturn Sky Redline's appearance, but uneasy with a manual gearbox? Are you worried that GM's little roadster won't be as fun with the $850 automatic? Despite the drawbacks of an automated sports car, the Sky Redline's performance figures should be taken very seriously. Because in our hands, it outpaces a mechanically identical Pontiac Solstice GXP with a stick shift. In 5.2 seconds, the Sky Redline with an automatic accelerates to 60 miles per hour, surpassing the 5.6 seconds of the manual Solstice GXP. An automatic-equipped Solstice GXP should be identical to its sibling, the Sky Redline. You may have assumed that this Saturn was an oddball, and that its engine was somehow exceptionally powerful. Excellent proof of a car's horsepower claim can be found in the quarter-mile trap speed. Our Sky would have been faster through the quarter if its engine had been exceptionally powerful. A beautiful day can be made even brighter by spending time in almost any convertible. But the 2007 Saturn Sky Redline produces heat that isn't natural. In comparison to the basic Sky Roadster, the Redline adds a dosage of special speed gear to improve handling and power. With integrated hydro-formed frame rails, the Redline is constructed on the now familiar deep tunnel Kappa platform. Fortunately, it has sportier suspension settings that are almost the same as those found in the Pontiac Solstice GXP. This entails strengthening the independent short and long arm assemblies in the front and back with thicker stabilizer bars and firmer springs. The Redline has special polished 5-spokes, but the wheels are still 18-inch alloys. You can use chrome as an option. But a bit more bling isn't what makes the Redline stand out, under the angular hood, that is. The Sky's 2.4-liter 0-4 engine has been replaced with a far more powerful 2-liter direct injection twin-scroll Turbo 4 260 horsepower. An 83% gain and 260 pound-feet of torque are produced by GM's first direct injection engine in North America. Last but not least, or better yet, last and least expensive on our list, we have this beauty. Number 1. The 2007 Pontiac Solstice GXP. $10,000. We enjoy speeding along back roads to car heaven while dropping the top on a sporty 2-seater. Hence, we were overjoyed when Pontiac gave us the keys to their eagerly anticipated sports vehicle, the Solstice. Fortunately, as is common of our type, we desired additional features, power, and handling. Well, this supercharged Solstice GXP is an example of Pontiac's ability to satisfy. Interestingly, Roebling Road has replaced Rhodes for this Solstice. With the introduction of the turbocharged 2007 Solstice GXP, Pontiac ups their game. Compared to its maiden effort a year earlier, this roadster on steroids now has a significant kick. A brand new Ecotec 2-liter Turbo 4 with 260 horsepower provides that punch. GXP power feeds to the rear through either a standard 5-speed manual or an optional 5-speed automatic. Of course, with all this new potential for speed, its strong base supports the GXP's summer performance tires and stiffer suspension, which significantly enhances its already agile nature. All four corners have Bilstein coilover monotube shocks. ABS and StabiliTrak stability control is standard on the GXP, along with a limited slip differential. Nearly immediate power is produced via a dual-scroll turbocharger with a lightweight turbine, and the performance of the turbo is improved by an air-to-air intercooling system that lowers inlet temperatures. By maximizing valve timing at lower RPM for optimal turbo response and rapid access to engine output, dual-cam phasing enhances the turbocharging system. The Ecotec engine uses less fuel than a small displacement port-injected engine, which also helps it generate more power. Direct injection enables a more thorough burning of the air-fuel mixture by delivering gasoline straight to the combustion chamber. Particularly at typical cruising speeds, less fuel is needed to generate the same amount of horsepower as a traditional port-injection combustion engine. These were some cars that offered the thrill, speed, and smile-inducing handling of supercars without the astronomical price tags. Wait until your pals witness you tearing along the back roads before they believe you. With a car that's just as exciting for a fraction of the price, who needs Italian flair or a name like Viper? Start living your best fast and frugal life now by finding your own four-wheeled rocket. Just remember to set aside some cash for gas. Also, don't be shy, car enthusiasts. Let us know in the comments below if you have some even better options for a cheap car that drives like a supercar.